And then there's this.
It's a big-ass drone. Biggest drone I've ever seen.
Holy shit! I got that on video! I got that on video!
The government knows what is happening.
Oh, you know Jesus.
That ain't no fucking plane, you asshole.
I'm investigating, but I don't have an answer of who's responsible for that.
Now, as it travels pretty quickly through the skies of Colorado.
And for some reason, they want to keep people in suspense.
No way!
Bro, what the fuck is that?
We are being lied to by the federal government.
What is your favourite Christmas song? The consensus says it's Kirsty MacColl and the Pogues with Fairy Tale of New York. It is a classic, but for me there's a couple of standouts. One is Greg Lake, I Believe in Father Christmas, and the other is Chris De Burgh's Spaceman Came Travelling. Not only has it got a great football stadium quality chant, it also describes the nativity as a UFO flap, which makes it more relevant today. What in the name of Ezekiel's wheel is going on in New Jersey? I know Christmas time is about surprises and bright lights, but things are getting ridiculous. If you're into the weird and 40 topics, Christmas has come a bit early this year. What with the Pope opening 5 holy portals, Santa's grave being found, and Man City on a losing streak. Things are getting weird out there. Is it aliens? Is it a psyop? Military? Santa? Let's take a closer look. And if you've got any ideas, let us know in the comments.
You're telling me we don't know what the hell these drones are in New Jersey are? Is that correct?
That's right.
It's crazy. I mean, that's crazy. That's madness that we don't know what these drones are.
Seems like you can't go outside anymore and look up without seeing something weird in the sky, if you buy into the media reports anyway.
Making those recordings because this mystery is one that needs to be solved. For now, we're live here in Mendham Borough. Like my crew and I have been here in Mendham recording this video that you're looking at right now. We have no idea what it is.
But something weird is definitely going down and seems to be getting weirder by the day. Drones, UAPs, a term that's now used to make idiots feel better informed than you. The sky, especially across the eastern seaboard of America, is packed with these craft displaying flashing lights, and it seems to be spreading across America, Argentina, China, Germany, and even here in the UK. The US government seems to be silent on this. This causes a vacuum, and something has to fill the vacuum. And that thing seems to be hysteria, fueled by wild theories. Reports seem to favour the military angle. There's so much footage of these things. The silhouettes and the shapes. Also the fact that the majority of these show FAA compliant red and green lighting does suggest that it's some military manoeuvre.
Yo, what is that? Is that a one wheel?
But why in the urban setting? New Jersey is probably the most populated state in the US. Did they not think that it would cause a ruckus? New Jersey's been a UFO hotspot for ages, and even Joey Diaz brought this up about 5 years ago on the Joe Rogan podcast.
What people don't know is that Hudson County, New Jersey, northern New Jersey, is the #1 place in the country where they have the most UFO sightings.
Really? Northern New Jersey?
Look it up, Jamie, if you get a minute, please, not to be rude.
So with its history of UFO sightings, it's hardly surprising that people are jumping to conclusions. There is a strangeness surrounding this whole thing. Nobody sees them taking off or landing. They're up there for hours, and there seems to be no pattern to what they're doing. Media reports suggest these drones are the size of a family car. Are they using some nuclear battery technology that we haven't heard of? The best domestic drone, weighing 250 grams, has a battery life of about 40 minutes. So how are these things staying up there for hours? Added to this, if drones this size fly above 50 feet, they must emit a beacon ping by law, which is picked up by the FAA. This identifies the drone, none of which is happening. In fact, at the time of recording this, FAA Chief Mike Whitaker has resigned. Coincidence? FBI meetings, Select Committee, and FAA meetings are all saying the same thing. We don't know. Some sections of the media have reported an Iranian mothership deploying these so-called drones.
What the fuck is that?
The military press secretary, Sabrina Singh, has come out and said that this is nothing to do with the military in any way, and nothing to do with our adversaries or enemies of the US. Alejandro Mayorkas, the Secretary of Homeland Security, stated, "They are real, but we don't know what they are." All of which leaves behind a state of confusion and conjecture. The one theory that seems to be gaining traction is that this is a military operation to sniff out a suitcase warhead smuggled out of Ukraine and belonging to a terror cell in the vicinity, and they're not informing the public so they don't panic. Yeah, nice try. If that's the case, why is this phenomena spreading, going global? The media have reported that it's not pranksters or copycat hoaxers, and if it were, surely someone would have squealed by now due to the endangerment of public if one of these things came crashing down.
You guys see this? Oh my god, what the f is happening? What is that? What is that?
That's not a plane. Yeah, it's wild.
Added to this, a drone of this magnitude would cost tens of thousands, possibly millions of dollars, beyond the purse of your average local knobhead. These things are now being seen over critical infrastructure over Washington DC.
They're hovering.
Even air bases are being shut down, local airports and tech factories, and reports of aerial battles over Wright-Patterson Air Base in Ohio and LaGuardia Airport.
Kind of some interesting looking lights out there, not satellites but maybe aircraft. Something flying, it's not satellites because they're changing direction. And it's a bit strange looking. I've seen this a few times over the last month in the same area. Starlink. No, it's not Starlink, I promise. I know what that looks like. Is there any military activity out straight ahead of us?
No, we're not seeing anything. I had another one report at like 30,000 feet in the Eugene area. We're not sure what it is.
Yeah, there's lots moving out there.
Yeah, they're looking into it.
We're seeing 3 or 4 targets. You know, they're all altitudes up and down. It's pretty crazy.
It all feels a bit unnerving. They'll be eating the dogs next.
They're eating the dogs, the people that came in. They're eating the cats. They're eating the pets of the people that live there.
So what could be happening? Well, crank up the weirdometer. Apparently all this was predicted by an IT scientist and businessman named Cliff High. He and his team developed an AI web bot that scours social media and then comes up with predictions. Temporal markers, or signs, indicate when the predictions will take place. In this case, the sign would be the Trump-Rogan podcast. The prediction of the event was to take place 39 days after the podcast aired. And guess what? The prediction seems to be coming true. That prediction stated it would be UFO versus UFO and fighter jets versus UFOs. Obviously, it hasn't been confirmed that these are definitely UFOs, but who's counting at this point? This is bizarre, but begs the question, is this prediction being used by a shadow government agency? And is it a part of a wider, more reaching project? The scenes unfolding remind me of something that happened a while back. And when I say a while back, it reminds me of 1561. Nuremberg, Germany. A sky battle took place according to those who lived there. This was recorded in a broadsheet, a type of newspaper at the time. Craft of all shapes and sizes were reported. They even tried to bring them down with cannon fire.
What are we actually talking about?
That they are being intelligently controlled because some cases seem to anticipate our maneuvers.
Various UAPs, including spheres, orbs, discs, saucers, ovals, triangles, boomerang, arrowhead, and irregular organic.
Sometimes these reports are reoccurring, with numerous recent sightings north of Hawaii and in the North Atlantic.
Of a multi-decade UAP crash retrieval and reverse engineering program.
The scene was illustrated by Han Glazer, and most of you will be familiar with it, bearing an uncanny resemblance to what seems to be happening now, but through the stylistic eyes of a 16th century person. These images were depicted again in the 17th century, Stralsund, Germany. Look familiar? Is history repeating? Are these phenomena related? Is this what we're seeing? Which brings us to the blue beam theory. For at least the last 10 years on the internet, an old 90s theory introduced by Canadian conspiracy theorist Serge Monsat, suggesting that a totalitarian world government will be installed by faking an alien invasion, with light shows and projections of Anunnaki gods and other supernatural stuff. It is strange that he died of a heart attack at 51 in apparently mysterious circumstances. Sounds a bit far-fetched. According to some commentators on X, Discord and YouTube, these aren't all drones. Some are alien craft disguised to look like them, and they're hanging around to save us from nuclear disaster. Now, even if I'm a bit skeptical, it's got to be said that some of the footage is a bit weird, but a lot of the content on social media could easily be faked, and no doubt is. But we are left with these facts. The US government acknowledges these craft. The US government has openly stated that UFOs or UAPs are a real phenomena.
Defies current material science and the ability to develop that much propulsion. And I know there's been some physicists that have done calculations which is beyond anything that we have.
The truth is out there. We just need to be bold enough and brave enough to face it.
What the fuck is this shit, bro? What the fuck is this shit? Why are they over a cemetery?
The US government does not confirm or deny what these craft are and why they are populating the skies over America. Which leaves the door open for any ridiculous theory. As I said a few minutes ago, I think this has happened before, and we're still here. So kick back, grab a beer, and enjoy the fucking light show. If you've enjoyed the content, please give us a like, subscribe, and share the heck out of this video. Ta-ra. We change our environment as humans. We conquer the elements. We conquer the wild. We're not conquered by other humans playing games as psychotics. And it's the sword of truth that is going to slice through the lies. And our declaration that we are in charge of this planet, not the globalists and not their machines. So to Jeff Bezos and all the globalist technocrats and Tim Cook and their slave camps in China and all their evil they try to cover up with Black Lives Matter, Marxism, and the cop killing, I say to you, your technocracy is dead on arrival. We change our environment as humans.